True. morning, everyone. Today is Tuesday, December 16th, 2025. It's time now, 9 a.m. We're going to begin our regular board meeting of the commissioners. All present are all 5 commissioners, as well as our auditor, treasurer, and our county coordinator. Please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance, please. I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, if you've got a cell phone, try to silence it, please. We'll do some business here for our county constituents and everyone. And I'm wondering, are there any amendments to the agenda?
Yes, Mr. Chair, I am amending 4.5. There's an incorrect date. It should be listed as 12/15/2025.
Change it from the 19th to the 16th?
Yeah, 15th.
Thank you. Are there any other amendments to the agenda? Nope. Okay, we would need a motion to approve this agenda.
So move with the amendment.
Okay, we got a motion to approve with the change. Get a second?
Yeah, I'll second it.
Thank you, Commissioner. Seconded. Any discussion? No discussion at this point. Take a quick vote. Those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? And we'll move on. Agenda item 4 today is our consent items.
We have meeting minute approval for December 2nd, 2025. Resignation of Public Works Heavy Equipment Operator Jason Wilkin, 12/8/2025. Hire Ross Bullen, full-time road deputy, start date to be determined. Retirement eligibility worker Maria Eisenbrown, 1/31/2026. Resignation social worker Ryan Rhodes on the updated date of 12/15/2025. Approved 2026 tobacco license. 3.2 malt liquor license for Don and Dave's Store. A 1-day 3.2 malt liquor license for Swanville Sobieski Lions. Event to happen 2/21/26. A gambling permit for Sauk Valley Gobblers 2/28/26. A gambling permit for Sauk Valley Gobblers 4/25/26. A gambling permit for Sauk Center Lions Ferry Lake Association 5/27/26. And accept resignation of Samuel Wicken, part-time correctional officer, 12/11/2025.
Thank you. Can I get a move forward? We need a motion to accept the consent items.
So moved.
And second would move it forward.
I'll second it.
Thank you. Any discussion? Hearing no discussion, take a voice vote. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion carried. Agenda item number 5 today is our county auditor treasurer with our warrants.
Today we have warrants for November 2025. Background is sent. The recommendation is to approve the November 2025 auditor warrants with an ACH and a manual payment totaling the amount of $4,439,298.98.
Okay, the first is auditor warrants, and the amount shown on the page of $4,439,298.98. Need a motion to move this forward for payment.
A motion to approve.
Thank you. And is there a second?
Second.
And we have a second. Any discussion? Okay, hearing no discussion, roll call vote, please.
Commissioner Noska,
Yes.
Commissioner Denny,
Yes.
Commissioner Becker,
Yes.
Commissioner Newman,
Yes.
Commissioner Byers.
Yes.
The next item I have would be the Commissioner warrants. Background is sent for review. Recommendation is to approve the Commissioner warrants with an ACH and a manual payment totaling the amount of $185,403.12.
Okay, Commissioner warrants are listed here at a total of $185,403.12. Can I get a motion to move that forward?
I'll make a motion.
Thank you.
Commissioner Watts.
Very good. And second would move it further.
Second.
Thank you, Commissioner Newman. Any discussion? Okay, hearing no discussion, we'll take a roll call vote.
Commissioner Becker,
Yes.
Commissioner Newman,
Yes.
Commissioner Denny,
Yes.
Commissioner Noska,
Yes.
Commissioner Byers.
Yes.
The next item I have would be the Health and Human Service Commissioner warrants. Background is sent for your review. The recommendation is to approve the Health and Human Service Commissioner warrants with an ACH and a manual payment totaling the amount of $117,524.33.
Thank you. 5.3, Health and Human Services Commissioner warrants, and that amount of $117,524.33. Do I have a motion to approve?
So move.
And is there a second?
Second.
All right, we got a motion and a second. How about discussion? Any discussion? Okay, I'm hearing no discussion. Roll call, please.
Commissioner Newman?
Yes.
Commissioner Denny?
Yes.
Commissioner Becker?
Yes.
Commissioner Noska?
Yes.
Commissioner Byers?
Yes.
The next item is Health and Human Service SSIS warrants. Background, again, was sent for your review. Recommendation is to approve the Health and Human Service SSIS warrants with an ACH and a manual payment totaling the amount of $50,046.26.
5.4, Health and Human Services SSIS warrants. We have a total of $50,046.26. I would entertain a motion to approve that.
So
Motion.
moved.
Go ahead. I'll second that.
Okay, we got the motion by Commissioner Denny, the second by Commissioner Noska. Any discussion? Okay, I'm hearing no discussion. Roll call.
Commissioner Denny?
Yes.
Commissioner Noska?
Yes.
Commissioner Becker?
Yes.
Commissioner Newman?
Yes.
Commissioner Byers?
Yes.
The last item I have today would be the 2026 Public Defender Contract. Background is Todd County is responsible for the provision of a public defender service in certain types of cases. Peters Law Office has proposed a contract renewal for 2026. Peters Law Office has provided the County Board a summary letter for consideration. Options are to approve the contract or do not approve the contract. Recommendation is to approve the Peters Law Office for Public Defender in Todd County for 2026.
Okay, thank you very much. 5.5 is the 2026 Public Defender Contract. And to entertain a motion to approve this.
I'll make a motion for approval.
Thank you, Commissioner Becker. Is there a second?
Second.
All right, Commissioner Noska, second. Any discussion? Okay, hearing or seeing no discussion, take a voice vote. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
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 And opposed? Motion carried. Our next agenda item is Public Works, and some payment authorizations is going to start us out.
All right, good morning, everybody.
Morning.
Good morning.
Our first item on the agenda this morning is authorization for final payment for a 2025 highway construction project. Our two options are approve the attached resolution or do not approve the attached resolution. And our recommendation is to approve the attached resolution making final payment to Mark Sand and Gravel for their 2025 highway construction projects for $205,133.65.
Okay, thank you. This time I would entertain a motion to approve the final payment on the 2025 highway construction contract.
I'll make the motion to approve.
And we got a motion. Will there be a second out there?
I'll second.
And we're seconded. So now we have any discussion? Okay, hearing no discussion, take a voice vote. Those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion carried.
All right, thank you. Our next item on the agenda, I'm going to invite Mr. Kent Nawaji up with me. Kent is an engineer with Bolton and Mink. This is a little loose here. He represents the city of Long Prairie, and they're applying for two local road improvement projects, funding, just like we did with the city of Clarissa here about a month ago. So with that, I'll open it up for the first project that he'll be applying for, and that's work on the 9th Street Northeast route here in the city of Long Prairie. And I'll hand it over to Kent to give us a quick rundown of what the project would be entailed. So, Kent?
Thank you, Mark. Good morning, everyone.
Hit that button right there. Perfect.
Good morning, everyone.
Morning.
The 9th Street Improvement Project the city is applying for funding for would include pavement improvements. So 9th Street, let me back up a step. 9th Street Northeast is the street that goes past the high school. And it would, the project location would start at Highway 27 and extend north on 9th Street to County Road 5. So the proposed project that we are applying for funding for at the city would be replacing the pavement between the curbs, reconstructing that to a 10-ton design, constructing a sidewalk to connect Highway 27 to where the sidewalk starts on the north side of Second Avenue Northeast, making ADA improvements to the sidewalk that currently exists on the west side of 9th Street, reconstructing the crosswalk and the ped ramps at the school crossing, and installing rapid rectangular flashing beacon type crosswalk flashing system at that school crosswalk.
Okay. So they're asking for our support on their
Yeah, so just
ninth. You wanna-
Just like the other projects that we've provided support, they're asking for our support in case they, well, hopefully luckily they get funded with this project. We would act as their fiscal agent and project sponsor and help them through the state aid process. So I guess our two options are to approve the attached resolution or do not. And our recommendation to approve the attached resolution offering support for their application to LRIP.
Before I ask for a motion, I just want to ask a quick discussion point. I'm assuming the timing of this is going to be such that we won't be around fair time or,
We would certainly make sure we're coordinating with
yeah,
the county, that
last week
it's
of
not
June, right?
affecting.
Last week of June, I think.
Yeah, that's the, fair.
Maybe note that or so.
Good call, Bob.
Okay. Okay, well, based on that, I will ask for a motion to approve the resolution, support of this.
I'll motion to approve.
Okay, thank you. Is there a second?
I'll second.
And second by Commissioner Denny. Any further discussion? Hearing no further discussion, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Carried.
Excellent, thank you. The next item is a similar one for a different project with the city of Long Prairie. So I'll hand it over to Kent for him to do a quick explanation of where and what they'll be doing on that project.
So this might look familiar to you. We applied for LRIP funding for this 2 years ago. This is on First Street South, near Dan's Prize, and it would include reconstructing 8th Street South between Highway 71 and First Street South, improving the pavement on First Street South from there to the end of the currently paved section, and then the pink line you see on the map there is currently gravel. So we would construct a paved road with curb and gutter there, also to a 10-ton design, and then reconstruct Lake Charlotte back out to the highway to a 10-ton design, creating, this would create a 10-ton loop of pavement around the back of the commercial district there, the Fleet Supply, Dan's Prize, and all of the other businesses in that neighborhood.
Okay. Again, they're asking for support. If I may just add that, before we ask for a motion, that obviously there's a lot of activity there. I mean, the amount of trucks that are parked there every day, all day is, so Dan's probably, hopefully they're, got a plan for that.
Yeah, we would obviously coordinate with Dan's Prize on that too, and any of the other businesses in that neighborhood to make sure that we are accommodating their needs.
It seems like there's a lot of staging for, you know, when they're busy and stuff, so. Okay, oh, busy. At this point, I'd certainly entertain a motion to approve.
I'll make a motion.
Thank you. Is there a second?
I'll second it.
And we got a second. Any discussion?
I second. Sorry.
Randy, got something for me?
Oh,
Oh, Randy got it, yeah. Yeah, okay. Randy's got it then. Any discussion? Okay, here no discussion. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried.
All right, thank you.
Thank you very
Welcome.
much.
Thanks, Kent. Thanks, Lauren.
Agenda item 7 is our County Ditch and Ag Inspector to talk about County Ditch 19.
Good morning.
morning.
Hello.
I have one agenda item today. County Ditch 19 minor maintenance for downed tree removal. Background, I sent an aerial photo, a picture, and the estimate from Statama Backhoe. Options are approve minor maintenance or do not approve the minor maintenance. Recommendation, the Todd County Board of Commissioners approves the following by motion. Acting as ditch authority, approve a minor maintenance project to remove 2 large trees that have fallen down across County Ditch 19 on parcel 26-00-12000. The trees will be removed with an excavator at the estimated cost of $500 by Statama Backhoe Service. Financial implications is $500, and the funding source is the County Ditch 19 Maintenance Fund.
Okay. Looking for approval to remove these two trees from the CD 19. Anybody want a motion to approve that?
Well, I can motion to approve that.
Very good. Is there a second?
I'll second.
And second is on board. Any discussion?
Yes, but Mr. Chair, Denise, if you want to scroll down to the map. And then I also checked the current approximate cash balance for Ditch 19 Maintenance Fund is $17,445.21. So there's plenty of money there. So the two trees are down in that section. They're not right next to each other, but, and then the landowner that reported it sent me a couple of pictures of the trees, if you just want to.
Good.
In this ditch system, we maintain the brush and the buffer strip, so we're gonna get them out of the buffer strip, so that's not in the way of tree spraying.
Well, that's good to hear. Thank you so much. So we have a motion, a second. Are there further discussion? Okay, I'm hearing no further discussion. Let's take a vote. Those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? And we are approved
Thank
for
you.
that. Yeah, thank you so much. And agenda item 8 would be County Sheriff, and we're going to talk about Vesta renewal today.
Good morning, Commissioners. For the Sheriff's Office, we have one board action form. I'm going to hand it over to Dispatch Manager Sarah Booker.
Good morning, Mr. Chair, members of the board. This is in regards to our Vesta renewal. So our Vesta call handling system is the system that processes all of our 911 calls and administrative calls that come into our office. We're currently in a 5-year maintenance renewal cycle on that, so that's coming up for renewal. In the background packet that's enclosed is the renewal contract as well as the 5-year proposal for their cost. They've gone to a little updated cost model where there's calculated annual increases every year, where the previous 5 years have been static. So the total 5-year cost ends up being $178,721.10 over the 5 years. So our options are to renew this 5-year contract, to not renew the 5-year contract. The recommendation is to renew the contract for that $178,721.10, and the funding source for that will be our 911 funds.
Good. Very good presentation. So I would need a motion to move this forward.
I'll make that motion.
Excellent, thank you, Tim. Is there a second?
I'll second it.
And we have a second from Commissioner Newman. Any discussion or questions for the team? Okay, I'm hearing no discussion or questions. Take a quick voice vote. Those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye, opposed? Motion's carried.
Thank you.
Thank you.
On to agenda item number 9, the purchase of Microsoft Data Center license. Well, morning, Lisa.
So what I have today is BAF for some licensing for our Microsoft stuff. We're due for an upgrade to our Microsoft Data Center licensing. Currently in our virtual environment, we have 4 hosts. Each host is required to have its own data center license. This will be a scaled approach to get all servers upgraded to the new version. This gives us the ability to create more servers without having to license each individual server individually. The code is for 2 licenses, which I see I forgot to put on there. All of our Microsoft licensing is purchased through SHI. Your options are to approve the 2 Microsoft Data Center licenses for $12,890.08, or to not approve. The recommendation is to approve the purchase of 2 Microsoft Data Center licenses.
Okay, we have a recommendation here to approve the Microsoft Data Center licenses, explained by MIS Director. I'd entertain a motion to approve this.
A motion to approve.
Wonderful. Now I need a second.
I'll second it.
Excellent, we got a second. Any discussion? Okay, here no discussion. take a vote. Those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried.
Thank you.
Thank you.
You bet. On to facilities, Mr. Johnson. Good morning.
So I have one agenda item here, and the topic for the agenda is renovation to Annex 1. The background is bids were submitted for the renovation of Annex 1 office with a low bid from Miller Brothers Construction for a total cost of $21,701.78. The options are approve the office renovations to Annex 1 from Miller Brothers Construction for a total cost of $21,701.78, or do not approve requests. The recommendation to the Todd County Board is to approve the office renovation to Annex 1 from Miller Brothers Construction for a total cost of $21,701.78, excuse me. And what this is just adding simply a few walls in the Annex 1 area. It's kind of a little bit hodgepodge. That's why there wasn't very much for attachments. And one of the places that we can do a little bit of work is the old GIS area, which we have now moved up to this building. So that's why there wasn't much for attachments. I thought I'd explain it if you have anything else, so.
I've got a question for you, Mitch.
Yeah, absolutely.
So this is the renovations. Now, does this include all electrical or HVAC? Or
Yep,
anything
this
that
is all
comes
electrical, all HVAC moving, doors that needed to be added, those type of things. So
Yeah,
it's,
so
it's,
they're
it's all
just-
in one.
Got it, okay.
And since it's a smaller project, we don't have somebody like professional services come in. We've indicated through the facilities committee what we wanted. And then I referred that back to our bidders, and then I just get local bids to do that,
Perfect.
so.
All right, sounds good.
Yep.
Chair,
Go.
this is actually where the veterans are going to move into this building, correct?
That is correct, yes.
Okay,
That's the plan.
yeah.
That is the plan and the goal, ultimately, yes.
Okay, thanks.
So I got a question, Mr. Chair. So is the space downstairs, is that on the agenda? As far
The
as,
space downstairs for the main floor.
Yep.
The last meeting, and I didn't go to the last meeting that actually happened. We have an office renovation company. They were taking care of the design. And so far, the design hasn't been completely agreed upon the individuals, department heads within that area. But yes, it is on our agenda. It's been a little while since we met on it, but it is on our radar to do something with that. It's just, they've got to agree upon what they want down there first before we can get a final bid on it.
Okay.
So.
thank you.
Yeah, good question. All right. So, budgeted and local company doing this work.
Yes.
And get us the space we need down there and privacy. and things like
Absolutely,
that.
yes.
Okay.
Mr. Chair, I guess the other question is, when are they going to be able to do this? I mean,
Say that again, I didn't hear you.
where's the timeline on this?
So the timeline is, I'll get back to the contractor. Obviously, they're gonna do it as winter work, because this is a very nice project for any local contractor. It just matters when it hits their schedule, right? So they don't put it on their schedule, and I don't tell them to put it on their schedule until I have board approval. So immediately after the meeting, I will go back to them, and they will get at it as soon as possible, put it on their schedule. But it will be a winter project. I'm hoping, if it gets really cold, it's gonna be on their schedule a lot quicker. Let's just put it that way. Especially with the winter, the way it's been, with getting so much snow, a lot of the outside activities that they could do in prior years, they can't. So there's a lot of local contractors looking for work like this. So I can't really give you a timeline. I can update the board when I talk to the contractor via email, just saying, hey, this is when they're thinking of timeline.
And then the veterans are ready to move when that project is done?
As soon as the projects will approach veteran services on their move, yes.
Okay.
Okay, any other discussion? Very good, very good. Let's take do we get a motion yet? We had a motion and, no, we don't have a motion. A lot of discussion though. All right,
I'll motion to approve.
we entertain a motion. Thank you so much. Is there a second?
I'll second. Oh, go ahead.
Barb's got the second. And any further discussion or questions? I'm hearing no further discussion or questions. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. And opposed? Motion's carried.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. And we're going to move on to planning and zoning. Mr. Alsifert, step up to the mic.
Good morning.
Yeah, good morning. We got 4 agenda items here.
4 of them here. And the first one is the Sauk River fiscal year 2024 WBIF work plan amendment. The Sauk River Comprehensive Watershed Management Plan Policy Committee has voted to amend the fiscal year 24 work plan to reassign funding to new projects. Local partners must approve these changes by resolution. The attached resolution supporting documentation outlines these proposed changes. If you remember back to the last meeting, we approved this, but almost immediately after I went back to my office, there was edits sent to me, so we're reapproving it. The work plan that's included, just there was a project in there that's not getting done anymore that needed to be removed involving the chain of lakes and an outlet structure, so they took that out and reassigned some of the dollars, so we just need to readopt the same, essentially the same resolution with that edited work plan.
Okay. So, time to entertain a motion. A motion to approve this amendment? This is Sauk River, right?
So move.
Okay, Sauk River. Got it.
Yep.
So moved by Commissioner Newman, and we'll need a second to
I'll second it.
do the amendment. Tim's got the second. Discussion, anyone?
Mr. Chair, I have a discussion item, and maybe I didn't understand. So this is being brought back with some changes? And
To the
then-
work plan.
Okay,
Yeah.
and then was this approved at the meeting that you presented?
Yeah, and that's, so, at the last meeting, yes. So I guess their motion would be to rescind that board
Yes, you
action.
need to rescind it.
Yep,
So,
and that's
okay.
in that, in there, to rescind the board action 2025-1202.
Yep, it is on there. I
Yep.
just wanted to make sure we
Sure,
said
yep.
that. All right, thank you.
Good clarification, everyone, thank you. Any further discussion? So we're rescinding and adapting. Okay, we got a motion and a second. Though, take a vote. Those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye, opposed? Nobody opposes, motion carried. 11-2, today is Brown Bear North final plat.
Yep, an application for subdivision to create a one-lot plat on parcel 24006200 in Turtle Creek Township was submitted on August 11th. The preliminary plat was approved by the Board of Commissioners on September 16th with no conditions. Planning and zoning has completed the review of this proposal and determined that it is ready for final platting. If you again recall back to the last meeting, on the final plat document, if you're able to scroll down, Denise, to that final plat document, I went back to my office and called the surveyor right away because they had that labeled as a private road when in fact it is not. The Mylar that was submitted was correct the whole time. It's just I was never sent the updated electronic version of that final plat. So that is corrected on, maybe you gotta go up one or down one. Yes, on that one there, if you scroll to where you can see the road. Yeah. Yes, it's huge. This is corrected there now. It is called Little Pine Lane, and then if you go to the next document, just this further, it's tough to see. This is the Pine Island Lake lots here, so that new lot is in this area, and you can't really see it, but in this here, it describes that this road is dedicated to the public use forever. So just identify that it is actually public road. I don't know why the surveyor ever had that in there as a private situation.
So, Mr. Chair, I got a question. That's only a 24-foot road.
Right, it's an old, I don't know, 1906 or something like that.
Does that
It's
even
not
meet,
What's that?
Does that meet a cartway or is it a road?
It's that little word there says driveway, but the width of the road on existing roads, there's no standards for that. It just has to be public right-of-way that the new lot's connected to. So we've accomplished that there. And it is dedicated to the public, which that we know is a standard, is that it has to be public. So that was correct the whole time. I don't know why that one was sent to me as a private road, but it was correct the whole time, so we have that fixed now.
Because 24-foot qualifies for a cartway. Not a, I can understand that it is a road, but it's a cartway.
Yeah, and the ordinance just refers to right-of-way.
Right.
So, and that it is public right-of-way.
All right.
Okay, entertain any further discussion or motions to approve the Brown Bear North final plat in Turtle Creek Township?
I'll make the motion to approve.
We have a motion to approve the Brown Bear plat. Next step would be to get a second.
I'll second that.
And there's a second on the board. I'd entertain any further discussion or questions for the team. Okay, I'm hearing no further discussion. We'll take a voice vote. Those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
Aye.
And ayes have it. Agenda item 11.3 is the off-grid recovery community request for CUP.
Yes, so an application for CUP to establish an on-site thrift store on parcel 0100182000 in Bartlett Township was submitted on September 8th. The application was reviewed by the Planning Commission during the November and December public hearings, and the final recommendation from the Planning Commission was to grant the CUP with the conditions below. Options are to grant the CUP with the conditions, develop findings to deny the CUP or remand it back to the Planning Commission. Recommendation would be to adopt the findings of the Planning Commission and grant the CUP with the conditions below. Number one, that business signage shall not be placed within the road right-of-way. Two, that off-street parking shall be provided for all business traffic. And three, the applicant shall abide by all other applicable federal, state, and local standards.
Thank you. 11.3, the off-grid recovery community request for CUP, the thrift store in Bartlett Township. I entertain a motion to approve this.
I'll motion to approve the thrift store.
Okay, thank you so much. Is there a second around?
I'll second it.
And we got a second. Open the floor for discussion or questions. I don't hear any questions or concerns, so let's take a voice vote. Those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? And carried. 11.4, Schroeder request for CUP.
Yep, an application for CUP to establish a power sports repair business and motor vehicle sales on parcel 0500220000 in Berlin Township was submitted November 10th. It was reviewed by the Planning Commission during the December 4th public hearing, and the recommendation was to grant the CUP with the conditions below. Options are to grant the CUP with conditions, develop findings to deny the CUP, or remand it back to the Planning Commission. Recommendation is to adopt the findings of the Planning Commission and grant the CUP with the conditions here. Number one, off-street parking shall be provided for all business traffic. Two, business signage shall not be placed within the road right-of-way. Three, all vehicle parts and supplies must be stored in a manner that does not create public nuisance characteristics. Four, that no more than 6 automotive vehicles shall be on site at any time. This includes vehicles for sale and that are being worked on. 5, all fluids and other hazardous waste must be properly stored in an approved container and disposed of in a manner that is compliant with federal, state, and local regulations. And 6, that the applicant abide by all other applicable federal, state, and local standards.
Thank you. Shorter request for CUP down up in Berlin Township. They're a power sports repair business and vehicle sales. And we got to move it forward with a motion.
I'll motion to approve it.
And thank you. Is there a second out there?
I'll second it.
Seconded? Okay, great. Any questions, concerns, discussion?
Yes, Mr. Chair. No concerns, just nice to see some new businesses going up every once in a while in Todd County or being established, whether they're operating it or not. We're operating prior or not. It's just nice to see see things growing a little bit. That's all.
Yeah, thank you. That's good. Any other discussion about this one, Berlin? I don't think I'm hearing any other discussion. We'll take a voice vote. Those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion carried.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Agenda item 12 today is Health and Human Services, and we're going to talk about the Northern Pines purchase of service agreements renewal.
I have one board action form
Morning.
here to present. A Northern Pines purchase of service agreement renewal. Some background. Northern Pines provides a variety of mental health services for adults and children. The services provided are detailed in the attached purchase of services agreement renewal. Your options are to approve the Northern Pines purchase of service agreement renewal or to not approve. It's our recommendation you approve the purchase of service agreement renewal.
Thank you. Agenda item 12, again, is the purchase agreement, right? Purchase of service agreements. And we're going to need a motion to move that forward.
I'll make the motion to move it forward, but financial implications, Jackie?
Same as last year, it's fees fee for service. So we use the service, they bill us.
Okay. Thank you.
You got it? Okay, good. Anybody else? Questions? You made the motion, right, Barb?
Yes, I did.
Okay, we made a motion, but we still need a second to go forward.
Second.
Did you, okay.
Randy.
My bundle's going on my left side. I'm having trouble today. We have a second, though. How's this? Any discussion? Any discussion? All right, we have no discussion. Let's take a vote. Those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Agenda item 13 is solid waste. Great day to be on the solid waste team today, huh?
Good morning.
Big day?
Yes,
It's
a good day.
Like game day.
yeah, right, exactly. The first item we have before you today is just a solid waste hauler license and permits for 2026. A little bit of background is the Todd County Solid Waste Ordinance requires businesses that collect and transport the waste to obtain a hauler's license for their businesses and permit each vehicle each year. The Solid Waste Department has received 3 license and permit applications for 2026. And the options are to authorize Solid Waste Department to issue license and permits, or do not authorize the issuance of license or permits. It is our recommendation to go ahead and authorize the department to issue license and permits for the following applicants: Long Prairie Sanitation, Waste Management, and G&T Sanitation.
All righty, so the waste hauler license and permits for 2026. I'd entertain a motion to accept those 3.
A motion to approve, accepting.
Yes, sir. And a second would needed to move forward.
I'll second.
And we got a second. Any discussion? Okay, hearing no discussion, let's take a voice vote. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion carried. 13.2.
Okay, the following item is our 2026 solid waste budget. Background is the proposed 2026 solid waste budget is for $3,443,400 in projected revenue and $3,484,615 in projected expenses. This budget has been reviewed by our solid waste committee and the budget committee as well. It is based on revenue generated from our approved fee schedule and does not include a change in a service fee this year. See the also attached proposed resolution that we supplied. Options are to approve the 2026 budget for the solid waste department or do not approve the budget. It is our recommendation to approve the 2026 solid waste budget with the attached resolution.
Mr. Chair, could we have discussion?
Yeah, let's do
I'm
it.
just curious, because it's a negative balance at the end. How do we approve a negative balance, I guess?
We had a similar situation last year. I think last year we approved the budget with a negative 74,000, something like that. We try to run our facility at a net zero. So, it's an estimated budget, just because we are an enterprise fund. We don't have a solid number on our numbers when we sell our recycling products and stuff that we go to commodity markets with. But we base it off our tipping fees. Of course, this year, it's another struggle like last year because we have a lot of outgoing expenses with the new facility and a lot of changing, and we just aren't sure exactly where all them balances are going to be. So that's part of the reason why that is occurring.
Okay, thank you. I'll make a motion for approval.
Sure. Well, that's great. Thank you so much. Is there a second?
Yep.
I'll second.
Okay, Tim's got the second. Any further discussion? Randy, Tim, you guys are the solid waste kings.
Yeah, we're good. Mike does a nice job of explaining his budget every year, so.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay, then we have a motion, a second. All those in favor of approving this signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. All opposed? Motion carried.
Thank you.
Yep, a reminder to everyone, we're having a ribbon cutting up there at 1 or 2? 1 p.m. Agenda item 14 is our administrative team talking about a resolution acknowledging the DNR notice of hunting.
Okay,
shotgun.
yes. So the Minnesota Department of Natural Resources notified Todd County on October 22nd, 2025, that Minnesota Statute 97B.318, the shotgun zone, will be repealed on January 1st of 2026, and the county could choose to pass an ordinance limiting the types of firearms used to take deer under Minnesota Statute 97B.031 subdivision 7. However, Todd County at this time is adopting a resolution stating that Todd County is not taking any action to adopt an ordinance or implement any type of firearm restrictions at this time. And Denise, if you scroll up, the copy of the letter from the DNR, I believe, is attached. There it is. So basically, that was the notification that we received. And then it's 2 pages. And it just gives direction if the county wanted to pass any type of restriction. But at this time, Todd County is choosing not to take action on restricting. So if you go up, then the resolution is above that. Do you want me to read that?
Yeah, let's read it into the record, please.
Okay. Resolution acknowledging the DNR notice and declaring no county action. Whereas the Minnesota Department of Natural Resources, DNR, notified Todd County on October 22nd, 2025, that Minnesota Statute 97B.318, the shotgun zone, will be repealed on January 1st, 2026. And whereas beginning January 1st, 2026, counties that are within the former shotgun zone may choose to adopt an ordinance limiting the types of firearms used to take deer under Minnesota Statute 97B.31 subdivision 7. And whereas the DNR provided Todd County with this information along with a sample ordinance for reference only. Now therefore be it resolved that the Todd County Board of Commissioners acknowledges receipt of the DNR's notice, and be it further resolved that the Todd County Board of Commissioners is not taking any action to adopt an ordinance or implement any firearm restrictions at this time. And be it finally resolved that this resolution is adopted to provide clarity to the public regarding the county's position. So if you scroll back up to the BAF, your options are to adopt the attached resolution or to not adopt the attached resolution.
Thank you very much. So at this point, I would entertain a motion to adopt this resolution.
A motion to adopt the resolution.
Thank you. Is there a second?
I'll second it.
Seconded by Commissioner Denny. Any discussion?
Yes, Mr. Chair.
Yes, sir.
This is a prime example of an unfunded mandate by the state of Minnesota because the enforcement goes back to the sheriff. And it's just one of those deals where, and I've had constituents contact me for and against. And it's about a 50-50 split, for and against, okay? We did not make that decision as a board. The state of Minnesota passed it down on us, so state of Minnesota can deal with it.
Mr. Chair, if I may. Yeah, and this is basically for us and for our constituents, it's just clarity is what it is. It's stating that we're just backing off, letting the state take care of their programs, and if people have issues with it, take it up with your state representatives.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes, true. Any constituent that called me was all in favor of not restricting it. So.
Yeah, I've had both. I had a
haven't had
couple on
any-
either side, but yeah, mostly in support of not restricting.
So, okay. We made a second and a motion. We have to take it a voice vote, right? We gotta take a vote? We'll take a quick vote. All those in favor of, as motion, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion carried. And Agenda item 15, our finance committee is going to go over the 2026 county levy and budget. Separate
Yes, we're
items.
presenting the 2026 county levy. The background is the county board has approved the 2026 preliminary levy on September 2nd, 2025, and has held the truth and taxation hearing on December 2nd, 2025 to solidify the public input prior to final adoption. Your options are to adopt the resolution or do not adopt the attached resolution. The recommendation is to approve the attached resolution to adopt the final 2026 county levy at $26,735,567, less program aids of $2,018,099. Therefore clarifying that the 2026 final Todd County levy would be at $19,717,468. This is a budgeted item, and the Finance Committee has reviewed it.
Thank you so much. The Finance Committee reviewed this. We had truth and taxation, so at this point, we would need a motion to approve the 2026 county levy.
I'll motion to approve the 2026 county levy.
Very good, thank you. Is there a second?
I'll second.
And Commissioner Becker with a second, thank you. Any discussion?
Yes, I would like to very much thank the Finance Committee. It was a tough year, and I think realizing that could be a tougher year next year, I give you a lot of thanks, including Denise and her crew also. Commissioner
Yeah,
Byers,
let's not forget our department heads who took care of business for us and
Absolutely.
got things done. Kept us, I mean, the bottom 10 in the state for our increase. So good work, everyone.
Any further discussion?
Yes, Mr. Chair, I'd also like to thank the Finance Committee and all their hard work on getting this done, also the department heads. So, thanks.
You bet. Okay. Let's entertain a motion then to approve the 2026 county levy as stated in the board action form.
You have a motion and a second, so you just
So let's
need-
take a vote then, huh?
Yes.
Thanks for keeping me on track. Take a voice vote. Those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion carried.
Now we need to move on to the budget. This would be approving the 2026 county budget. Background is the Todd County Board has approved the 2026 preliminary levy on September 2nd, 2025, and has held the truth and taxation hearing on December 2nd. And we need to solidify where we solidified public input prior to the 2026 county budget's final adoption. Your options are to adopt the resolution or do not. And we are recommending to approve the attached resolution adopting the 2026 budget as presented. This is a budgeted item, and the attorney has not reviewed it. The facilities has not, but finance has.
Okay, we have the recommendation to approve the attached resolution. Need a motion to move that forward.
I'll make the motion to approve.
And thank you. Is there a second?
Second.
Seconded, and discussion. Hearing no discussion, take a voice vote. Those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion carried. And our last agenda item would be our standing reports from our team members. We'll start with the county coordinator today.
Oh, wow. Okay. Changing it up. I want to just take my time, take my moment of time to send out a big thank you to my administration team, Nellie Johnson and Chris Kasubi. We are ready to launch the Paycom software. We have onboarded the onboarding and recruiting and also benefits enrollment, and we are starting payroll this week with the first check being administered January 7th. So they have put in so much work, and I just wanted to kind of send a shout out. And then secondly, just an invitation to the 1 o'clock ribbon cutting today at the transfer station. So all are invited. Please come out.
Thank you. And auditor treasurer today, what do we know?
I had held the TNT meeting, and that went very well. I believe there was just 3 people here, and 2 of them were just here for educational purpose and just wanted to know how the county works, and the other one just had interest in the budget as well. Also with that, November, we settled out the November ag taxes, and that was a good collection as well as attending the AMC conference. Everything was wonderful there.
Thank you. And our commissioners, go ahead, Commissioner Noska.
All right, yeah, truth and taxation was mentioned. We're still working with Paycom for Todd County Development Corporation. We're looking for a little help from them, get us rolling down the road, so we can get this finalized. So our director there gets a paycheck in January. What else we've got? Wellness. We've been looking at planning our holiday party, which is, I mean, it's kind of exciting. It'll be at the Clarissa Ballroom again. I believe January 30th was the date set. And yeah, and just for everyone's knowledge, I mean, this is all grant funded, so no taxpayer dollars spent on, local taxpayer dollars spent on this one, so just a heads up. You know, just a few other things going forward. Todd Bonilla Community Corrections, we're working on potentially contracting with Otter Tail County for temporary director services until we can get our director spot filled.
Okay.
Yep.
Thank you so much. Commissioner Denny?
Yeah, apparently Lou's got all the exciting stuff going on, so we had a pile of meetings from the last one, but I just want to thank, we had a big weather event before our last meeting here. So I want to thank all the public works guys. I know it was a ton of work keeping roads open, sheriff staff keeping roads safe, maintenance facilities keeping our buildings and everybody plowed and salted everything. I just want to really appreciate. We have great staff here. Mike and his team out there at the transfer station that was plowed out right away. Looked really nice. It's just nice to have everything operational and like a finely tuned clock. It's really nice, really proud of everybody, and so just thank you for all your efforts. They do not go unnoticed.
Thank you so much. Good job. Commissioner Becker?
Yes, I was able to attend the AMC meeting, and the cities also attended the MCR meeting that night. We voted on the priorities that we're going to push forward this year. Also, we have the dates that they sent out for the MRC for this coming year. Last night I attended the community corrections meeting along with Lou, and we were able to visit with some of the Otter Tail commissioners down at the AMC meeting, and they were very open to try to fulfill the needs that we have as long as we need them, so they were very cordial with that. I would also like to thank Doris for her 41 years of service for Todd County. That's quite an outstanding goal to achieve in this day and age, so thank you. I also attended the Rainbow Rider meeting on Thursday, so and that's, thank you.
Very good. Busy person. All right. Commissioner Newman?
Yes, attended the MRC meeting on Sunday night down at AMC. And then on Monday morning, I went to what would HR do? Really interesting as far as a commissioner, what should you do if personnel issues land on your lap? So really interesting there. That afternoon, went to the State of Solid Waste. You know, it's just amazing what garbage costs. And then down in the metro area, how they're trying to get everything, their ducks in a row. Revitalization initiative was put on by Aiken County, transforming local government inside out, and how your county can do the same for boost of staff retention. And that's what a lot of us are dealing with right now, is retaining good staff. You know, with Barb bringing up Doris with 41 years, that isn't really the motto nowadays. It's kind of the dollar thing. Tuesday, I went to Rural Graduates Pathways After High School. How some of these, the smaller communities, if they have businesses within that community, are working with the schools as far as bringing them in, showing them what they do, trying to get the kids at a younger age into, you know, the manufacturing end of it, whether it's plumbing, heating, I mean, stuff like that. So, you know, hats off to those guys. I mean, that's something we probably should be working on. The other thing I found interesting was data security threats to counties and how to respond. That's another one that we could get blindsided by. There was a couple counties that had to pay the ransom to get their county information back. So stuff probably we should look out for. Hopefully we don't have to deal with it. And that was pretty much it. And then I had solid waste. When I come back on Thursday, I also had a park board meeting on Wednesday night. As far as the park board, they did get the well put in out at the park. It is a hand pump well, it was 70-some feet deep. Supposedly it's certified, so that's a plus. And then Rainbow Rider, they're making progress on a new facility in Alec. They didn't quite have the roof on when the snow hit. So they've been dealing with that. Otherwise, that is it. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Myself, we had personnel with the team, and we met with TCDC as a board, and soil water also. They always run a really, really good meeting over there. I also like to thank Doris for her 41 years of service. What a run, and amazing career with us. And then been dealing with some just a few administrative things that Jackie and I and Nellie have been working on between Paycom, deferred comp, different things, and things are all coming to a head. So when I say coming to a head, meaning getting resolved. So, yeah, we have a great team here. Thank you, everybody, for everything you do for us. And with that.
Mr. Byers, if I may, I do have an award that I received, or the county did. Minnesota County's Intergovernmental Trust Certification of Excellence presented to Todd County in recognition of an outstanding experience in workers' compensation. Experience modification under 1.0, that means we were under 1%, plan years from 2022 to 2024. And we'll get this framed and put out in the lobby.
Let's put that up, yeah.
Yep, so.
Good job,
on
everybody.
the workers' compensation. Nice to get those certificates.
Spend every minute you got on positive stuff. It always works out best.
Exactly, so
Okay.
excellence to Todd County.
Good job, everybody. With that, we will ask for recess. Adjournment, I'm sorry.
No,
Well,
we have
it's
to
recess.
recess.
We have-
Recess,
One more
yeah.
meeting
We're just
yet.
recessing.
Last meeting, I got a charge and I didn't get it right. Okay, ask for recess. then.
Motion to recess?
Yes, because we have the December 30th, our last business meeting. Yep.
You gonna make the motion, Randy?
Yep, I'll move to
Randy's got
recess.
the motion, Barb's got the second. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried.
Good.
Work session will begin. We're a little ahead of schedule, which is good, but we'll get people, you have a busy day, Mike, so we'll get this rolling in like 5 minutes. Good, everybody? 5, okay? Thank you.
Sounds good. 5 sounds good.
So
To
now
me.
it's not green yet. Takes a minute.
Oh, man.
do you think, Denise?
Yes, I have it
Timekeeper?
ready to go.
Okay. It's, we're gonna move the agenda around a little bit here. I think we're gonna move number 2 to number 1. Yeah, let's go ahead and do that. So we're gonna, it's now 10:04, 10:05 or so, on Tuesday, December 16th, 2025. We're gonna start our work session agenda. We'll start with our transfer station project budget.
Good morning, Commissioners.
Morning, Mike.
Just to review, as you all are aware, that we are opening the transfer station completely as of yesterday, so that is going really well. Just getting through some little things that we got to adjust yet, and just a shout out to Lisa Partika and their group did a really good job getting us online Friday and Saturday. So we were able to be prepared for Monday morning, so I appreciate that. The first item is the form that we used back in 2024 that we approved, the transfer station project summary. So that kind of gives you a little bit of a background where we were at when we proposed this as a budget after we had all our final cost adjustments in. So the overall on the bottom part of the page where it's the total budgeted project cost was $10,197,156.43. So as the project went about, and in the next forms, we met with Denise's staff and Jolene in middle of November, reviewing it as we were close to finalizing everything. We have roughly maybe about $60,000 yet of costs that I anticipate coming in with the final engineering and closing costs that are left. But if you look back towards the bottom of the last page, according to that, our total expenses occurred through the whole project. We are at $10,216,212.57. So that's really encouraging for me as far as where we are at with the project, and we stayed pretty close to what we deemed in the beginning of it. So I was excited to see us and to match that budget that we started with. The other adjustments that also that critical are to the design of it. When we first met, we increased our equipment costs as well. So the original budget with that 10.197 was with one semi and 3 trailers, and we were ended up incorporating another semi in that cost along with another trailer to meet our goals in operating the facility. So to me, we really did a good job managing this project and the costs. We were able to absorb them costs into that project. And so I think we are happily in the scope of where we were at when we started. So questions and comments?
Anyone?
No, we see this stuff every month. Commissioner Newman and I do, so it's nice to always, I know the rest of you don't get to see it all the time, so it's nice that he keeps us informed, and Mr. McConn's always going through the numbers with us, and they go line by line, item by item, and to get this project now to today where it's done, it's been incredible, but also not just done, but we're equipped and staffed.
I know I got it, when I happened to be up there one day, and Mike shared with me the whole auction. I know it's not necessary, but part of we had the auction, right, and we did really well.
Yeah, we sold some of our out-of-date equipment that we had and some of our hook trucks that we were phasing out now that we're going with our new trucking line. We were able to sell just $120,000 and some odd dollars we received off that auction. So we did really well on those numbers as well, just to reduce some of the operating costs that we had that are upcoming too. But just to maximize them old odd pieces of equipment and put them into use for somebody else. So that was very, very successful for us.
A lot going on.
Yeah, it's a lot easier to store 120,000 than it is to, make room for 2 trucks and a bunch of trailers and all kinds of equipment. So, and the other thing too, just a quick note. I know Tim and Mr. Newman are very comfortable with this, but on the one page as well, when we first started the project, with the grant monies that we were funding, we wanted to be aggressive in the beginning, just to make sure we spend that cap grant fund, because if it's not spent, we have to return that budget. So including in that overall budget, we bought that baler and some other equipment that wasn't really in the design of the original facility, and that was close to $300,000 equity that was also be able to run into that and absorb through that fund. So we were very successful in the overall project cost.
Overall, like, quick question, like, a project of this scale and the amount of like changes that you think happened, was it managed pretty well by your partners that help with construction and everything, High Tech and whoever?
Yes, I thought High Tech was exceptional to work with, and their design team was phenomenal. And Stantec and everybody involved, they really listened to us, what we wanted, to have as a facility when we opened, and they helped us get to that point, but also be very cost effective and along the way as well.
Very good. Any other questions or comments, anyone? Okay, I don't hear any other questions or comments. We're really excited for the rest of the day, and thanks, Mike. Really
Thank you.
appreciate it.
Thanks, Mike.
See you at 1.
Harumph.
Chairman Byers, could we, our first speaker is not quite here yet. She is en route. Could we move to item number 3?
We can.
Okay.
That would be a cannabis ordinance draft amendment.
Okay, good morning again. Just looking, as we have had a couple applications and worked through a couple cannabis things, Commissioner Denny had asked me to put this on the agenda to have some discussion about potential revisions to the cannabis ordinance. I'd been thinking about this and kind of putting some stuff down too, so I have some draft stuff in the packet here, things crossed out, some new language and stuff. So I can walk through that if you want. Otherwise, anything you need me to consider with revisions to the ordinance. And the other thing I would be looking for is if you want more time to kind of look over this, have some more thoughts, and we can bring it back to another work session, or if you want me to move forward with getting this to the Planning Commission and start working on some revisions, that would be, I guess I'm just looking for the direction from there. You're about right at the perfect spot there. If you go down just a little bit further right there. So in that section B, things that were discussed were removing the cannabis businesses from the AF1 and AF2 zones to be limited to just commercial. I just crossed out that one section. If you scroll down just a little bit further, Denise, we can also, obviously it would make a lot of sense to remove some of those other ones. I did not cross those out yet, but those would be things that we would consider, is just adjusting what the zones are where we allow the different types of cannabis businesses. And then in part C there, originally we had in part 2, we had some language about signage of the business. You can do 2 signs, 32 square feet. That language was in the original model ordinance that was provided to us by the Office of Cannabis Management. So proposed to remove that and just say that outdoor display so advertising or whatever is not allowed at all. I did look at some of our neighboring counties and how they worded their ordinance, and that was pretty consistent that they did not allow outdoor display. Some things that, the other items here are things that were discussed through the Planning Commission hearings and things that we heard from the public that were concerned. So things like lighting, parking, storage, so that part 5 just talks about like your hazardous materials and stuff can't be outdoor stored. They need to be stored inside the building, except for your larger equipment needs to be, to the side or rear yard, that sort of language there. That part 6 talks about a movable place of business, so think like a food truck. That would be very hard to regulate, so, and I had noticed that in some other counties had language like that. And then the last part, there is in your the application for a conditional use permit, there's been lots of conversations about things we'd like to see in order to feel comfortable with our decision. So to have them in our ordinance and a requirement that they submit them up front with the application for CUP makes a lot of sense. So that's where those 6 additional items, rather than just the application and then we work through the process, we would, if those things are not addressed in the application, we wouldn't accept it, is kind of how that's written. So that's just the starting point of where I'm at with things. We obviously would have to put this through public hearing, get Planning Commission input, and have you guys review it. But I guess from there, I'm just looking for additional input and direction on what you'd like to see next.
Mr. Chair, if I may.
Yes, please.
Could you scroll back to the allowed uses for zoning there? Yeah, there you go. Now, the only issue, I like changing it. I like the potential to be commercial, but is the state going to require us to have an open air option? And if so, commercial might not be an option for those kind of things. Like growing out in an open field setting.
Sure.
I mean, I don't know if that's something we need to dig into a little further, because if we limit it to commercial only, I don't see very many agricultural fields in commercial zoning that might be suitable for this.
Right, and so you're talking indoor growth versus outdoor.
Yes, that's where I'm talking. I like to see, like you said, the manufacturer, that could be commercial only, and if you could scroll down a little further, Denise. There you go. And all the manufacturer stuff, the wholesale stuff, things like that, retail we've got already. And even the transportation, we could leave those all as commercial, potentially.
But cultivation,
The cultivation should be indoor versus
because you could have a tower system or something, right? Or there's a grow facility inside, right?
An indoor grow
Versus
facility would be commercial only, but I'm thinking potentially if someone wanted to grow it on acreage.
Right.
I mean,
I would imagine we could split those, so we
yeah,
could allow.
that's just what I'd like to see looked into.
Yep, okay, noted.
And I would someday still like to revisit our fee schedule on these things, because I know we do regulate adult businesses at a higher fee. I don't see why we couldn't charge more for these as well. I mean, at some rate, maybe not outside of our normal fee schedule, but to match a different setting rather than just a residential building or another commercial building per square foot type thing.
And that's something we'll definitely be able to keep tabs of over the course of the year. So as we get to the next year, we'll have a much stronger idea of what that cost is to make appropriate adjustments.
Right.
Adam, but then I would have to question, like your zoning and land use, your cannabis manufacturing. I think that's the ones that we should put as commercial only. You take number 2, number 3, number 4, wholesale,
Right, yep,
and that should be taken out of the rural setting, the Ag 1 and the Ag 2, correct?
right. That's what I just put that in as an example on the cultivation.
Okay.
If we're gonna add it, it makes sense to change the cannabis manufacturer,
All of them
all
all the
kind
way
of
down.
match.
Okay.
Yes, yep, I just didn't edit it that far
Okay,
yet. Yep,
that's fine.
thank you.
Mr. Chair, are you guys still planning on going up to Monoman?
Tomorrow.
Yep, we're going tomorrow, so.
I had a conversation with commissioners from up in Otter Tail and Becker, and they said, Randy, tribal has complete different regulations than what we're trying to do.
Okay.
So that is on tribal land. He said it's a waste of taxpayers' money to even go up there. And then they had a fire last week, which I didn't know of. They had a fire in that facility, so I don't know if they got it out, but they said they couldn't open the doors because if they opened the doors up, they were in violation of something. But that's on tribal land. They don't have to follow the rules. And the tribes do have the market right now as far as the cannabis, so that's just my thoughts on that. And like I said, I had conversations with commissioners from other counties, and they're going, why are you guys wasting taxpayers' money to go up there when they don't have to follow the rules?
Mr. Chair, if I may.
Please.
Randy, just to interject on that, I'm not necessarily saying that it's a waste of taxpayers' money. I wouldn't say that, because I believe knowledge of how those systems operate and what the buildings look like and the smells, sights, and sounds of them, it's got to be similar in some way, shape, or form all the way around the board. I mean, it's a growing facility, and their goal is to produce cannabis. Yes, there may be some variations, and I'm sure there are different regulations that we have in our ordinance that they don't have. But just to see how it operates and to be familiar with it is one of those things. Even if it's different than what we will allow, it's knowledge. And for us to know and be educated on those things, I think is a benefit.
You better check to make sure that the fire didn't close it, so.
I have further information on it. The fire was actually at their retail site. They have a laboratory that's attached to it. And it was, I don't know what gas they used, that actually caught fire, which is why they couldn't open the door. They just had to let the gas finish burning. They went in with the drone to make sure it was out, and then they opened the doors. So the fire was not at the growing facility that they're gonna be visiting tomorrow.
But it was attached, right?
No, it's, I don't know, 6 blocks away.
Up in smoke.
So I guess from there, if, we did have a planning commission deadline of yesterday, so we still could get this on the January 8th agenda, I believe. If we can't, we would go to the next month, if that's what you'd like us to do, is get it ready for the planning commission, or happy to bring it back to another work session, if there's more things you guys would like to think about.
Any opinions, everybody? You're looking for a direction there?
Just some direction, yeah. Yep.
I can't personally imagine that we're gonna be ready by January. Am I missing something?
No, I think we could take it, take a little time to go through it. Make
Don't
sure
you
we
think
got-
it should go to the planning commission so that they can go through it? Because they have to totally go through it before we can move on anything,
We
correct?
can do that, and we can, if the board wants to keep adding their edits to Adam, and Adam can forward to the planning.
So generally, when we do any sort of ordinance update, we get it to the planning commission. Once they, it's usually a month, 2, 3, 4 months later before. Yeah. So this would just be a jumping off point. No rush to make any changes or anything, of course. But we just make sure we try to edit it based on the knowledge we've gained over these first few months of cannabis stuff.
I'd imagine this time around, we might have a little bit of public input now.
There's potential for that, and I hope so.
I would
That's
hope
what the
so. I would
process
hope
is
so.
for.
That's what it's there for.
Yep.
I mean, the last time around, no one showed up, and that's why we potentially are where we are. There were no concerns raised, so. I mean,
Good,
it's-
so
So we'll get it on
get the planning and
the agenda for the planning commission as soon as we can here, and we'll go from there.
beautiful.
All right, awesome,
Have
thank
a
you.
good day.
Okay, so
Okay, we are gonna jump back to our, are we ready? Number one?
We are ready. Dee Dee, if you want to
Okay.
come up.
Our agenda item is
Can you
mobile
pull
data,
up that PowerPoint?
mobile data analytics at the Todd County Expo building presentation.
Yes, so Commissioners, today we are pleased to welcome Dee Dee Lemire. She's an extension educator in the Community Economics and Tourism with the University of Minnesota Extension Office. Dee Dee is here to share mobile data findings specific to the Expo building at the fairgrounds. And this data was gathered as part of a larger University of Minnesota project that is going to help us better understand how the building is used throughout the year. This information is also going to support an upcoming graduate student who will be doing a study this spring to examine the energy efficiency at the Expo building, and it takes into account the building usage patterns. So the results of her work, the graduate student, will be shared with all of you later this spring. So we appreciate Dee Dee being here today and look forward to her presentation. So.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm joined at the table by my colleague Jan Jacqueline, and she is coordinating the larger project and was the individual that invited me to share this information with you all. So I am an extension educator working in the Brainerd region, specifically on community economics. And one of the key areas that I work in is actually using emergent data tools such as cell phone location data to help communities better understand what's happening, especially for small communities where other forms of data may not be available or may not be sufficient. And so what I have been asked to provide and have prepared for you today is a brief report on initial findings regarding the visitor traffic to the Todd County Expo building. So, for context of the work that I do, often when I work with communities, the first thing that they are approaching me about is thinking about how do we get more visitors to our community, really for economic development. And what the research shows is that for rural economic development to be sustainable, we have to be focusing on not just visitors, but also workforce and residents. and to be doing that in a balanced fashion in order to have sustainable development over time. And so my approach to this work very much, is thinking about that holistic experience and not just prioritizing one audience over another. Mobile data is an emergent data source for communities to use. We contract with a third-party software provider where I do not have location data or identifiable data available about each visitor. There is no data included in this for people that are under the age of 18. And if visitors do not have a mobile device, like a cell phone, with them when they visit, they would not be included in these counts. And they should just be used for estimates of visits. If you were to want exact counts, then more traditional survey methods would be needed. So to start with, what I wanted to do was to just share a little bit about where your visitors are coming from. And so what I did with our system is I actually drew a perimeter around the expo building itself. So we're not talking about visitors that are in, on that property, but we're talking about the actual facility. And looking at that, I can see that visitors to the expo come from all across the region. There's no surprise that there's definitely a hotspot in the Long Prairie zip code, represented by the dark blue on the screen. And then there are some other locations as well that stand out. These are the top 100 zip codes that our visitors are coming from in the last full 12 months of this year. There. So most visitors do come from the local area, which is what I would anticipate, but then Detroit Lakes also serves as a regional hotspot. And this is based on the home location, so it's where the device spends the night, essentially. So it's not where the bill gets sent to, it's where the device spent the last 30 nights in a row. So it allows our data to be very flexible, it's updated, we're not waiting for census turnarounds and delayed by years. So it allows you to have some kind of sneak peek insights. I was also able to pull the trade area kind of distance and how far people typically visit from. And so in tourism research, the 50-mile marker is used as kind of that standard starting place for determining what is a local audience versus what is a regional or an out-of-town tourist. And for the expo building, what I found over the last 12 months was that 91.7% of visitors are coming from less than 50 miles away. So that means that that building has a very, very local audience. The other piece that I really appreciate about this data and has been very useful for other communities and other projects is to be able to understand how visits to the expo building are connected to the community. Because especially if our goal is to have a bigger economic development kind of footprint by having investments in facilities like this in our community, then being able to understand whether or not people are making stops is important. So I did find that a majority of the expo visitors are coming from or returning home after being at the building. I also saw that there were some visit patterns that show that gas stations and restaurants are also frequent stops. And I can show you in this diagram. On the left side of the diagram, it shows where those mobile devices were immediately before coming to the expo site. And so 60.6% were at home, 7.4% were at work, and then it goes down with gas stations, convenience stores, and then other stadiums, arenas, or athletic fields. And then following their visit to the expo building, 60.7% returned home, 6.2% went to fast food or quick service restaurants, 4.9% to gas stations, and then to stadiums or grocery stores. So we can see that indeed people coming to the expo is connected to other kinds of behaviors. And things like gas stations, convenience stores, I feel pretty good that if they're making those kinds of stops, that they're also spending money in those places. Those are all stops where they would have spent at least 10 minutes. prior to being at the expo. So when I look at trends for visitor traffic over the last 12 months, this to me is some of the most exciting parts of the data because we can understand some of the different groups and activities that are happening in that facility. So there's definitely a peak in the summer during the Todd County Fair. There's also steady traffic during winter months, reflecting the winter use as an ice rink. And that's represented in this diagram that shows a huge peak of approximately 2,000 visitors in mid-June for the county fair. And keep in mind that these do not include minors or if people do not have cell phones. So I assume when I look at this, this is undercounted. But it does give you a sense of like, whoa, there is a big shift in the summer there, right in the middle. And then the way that this is run for the last 12 months, you'll see that that hockey bubble, kind of runs between October to mid-February, where there's bigger peaks. In this case, they're more focused over the weekends, but it is fairly steady. And then on the right-hand side, there's a bar chart that shows some comparisons of different visitor counts from 2022, 2023, and 2024 in comparison to the last 12 months. Another piece that has been very helpful for other communities is to understand the timing of when visitors are coming to a particular facility. Because of the use of the expo, it's probably not surprising that there's a lot of like after school and evening usage. And then there's also weekend usage during the school year and summer usage. And so when we look across the average for the entire year, this is where that's reflected, where there's about 2,000 visits that are made to that space kind of during the workday, but then after work, really peaking in that 5 to 6 p.m., you can reach over 6,000 visits for, how those different visits are counted over the course of the year. So that's really that peak timing. This can be helpful for thinking about planning for traffic, for planning for facility management, and also where there's opportunities to expand the use of a facility. And then for daily visits, it's pretty steady across the week with the exception of Saturday having over 2,500 visits as the average for the year. And then the visit duration is measuring the amount of time that people stay in that space. So as I mentioned, with some of the other reports that they're measuring things where people were there for over 10 minutes. And so that's why there aren't visits that are counted less than 10 minutes because of the settings with the software. But what this really reflects is that you have a large volume of visitors that are spending a lot of time in the facility. So again, thinking about what kinds of amenities are needed, what kinds of resources are needed, the size of the parking lot, all of those things this kind of data can be helpful when you're trying to make those sorts of decisions. And then regarding the visitor demographics, I would take this with a grain of salt just because, we're assuming people have a cell phone. So there's some of that financial, ability to have a cell phone that's included. But so many people do have phones kind of regardless of incomes that I think this is an okay measure. But what I think it's really useful for is, just gonna flip the tables here. It's useful to understand, who are we reaching with this? Is this kind of our typical resident or are we reaching one end of the spectrum or the other? And so what this data suggests is that the average household income is approximately $78,000 and a median household income is $67,000. I would suggest that additional research is needed in order to kind of dig into the different distinct user groups that use the facility if there were going to be bigger campaigns launched because of this data. So again, much like the other data, there is a wide spread of incomes, but we definitely see a peak in that median and average income range of the 60 to 80,000. So If there are questions, about the data or things you'd like to share with me, I'm happy to take those now. But please know that our resources through the University of Minnesota Extension will continue to be available to both the work group that is ongoing regarding the expo, but as there are additional questions and needs from the commission, I'm happy to be of service.
And I just wanted to note that this project is completely grant funded. There's no cost to the county. And it's a unique project for the student because of the dual use of the building. They like the offset of, in the summer we are showing cattle and it's very agriculturally used. In the wintertime, we're switching complete gears and going into hockey. So just that double use of that building is really a unique project for the grad student to look at. So, and how to, look at the energy efficiency of it. So there are other buildings across the state of Minnesota that are used like that as we are starting to do research. Not a lot, but there are other fairgrounds that have buildings used like that too. So it's kind of a neat project for the student.
Okay.
Any questions? Or again, this will be used with the students' research, and then in the spring, she will be probably attending a work session and doing a presentation on what she finds through her project.
This probably should be shared with the city too.
City of Long Prairie?
Well, I'm just thinking like if 60% of the people come from home and go right from there to, or come from work or home, go right back home, how do you get 10% of those to go to the gas stations, to the stores, to drive the more local economy?
Right.
6 out of 10 are just coming and going. They're not stopping at a gas station or a restaurant or a retail place to buy anything. Is there not enough like local signage saying that there's an option down the road, or, come eat over here, or whatever the case may be, so that they can drive more revenue?
That's a good point, because Dee Dee can actually identify which restaurants and which gas stations.
I mean, as you think about it, like if you're driving down the freeway and you see the blue sign that says Taco John's, KFC, Pizza Hut at this next exit, we don't have anything that says whatever restaurant, whatever gas station, arrows showing them where to go, or, hey, municipal liquor store or Casey's or whatever you want to say.
Yeah, we'll do that.
Tag along with that, Bob. It's interesting, do most of them stop in Long Prairie, or does it measure if they stop in Briarville, or are most of stops within the Long Prairie area then?
Most are within Long Prairie or the immediate area, but I can track back to, typically it's like the top 100 stops, if there's enough data.
Stopping
Yeah.
here or stopping outside of our county?
Right.
Yes.
Where's the business going?
And if it was, this last year was probably a way low number, because during the fair, you had the Swanville Carnival, you had Briarville Days, you had 4 huge events. Morrison County had there was so much conflicting stuff going on that one week that I would imagine it could have been better attended in 2025 based upon when people, like this year, Swanville's will be the week after the 4th of July, which won't conflict with the fair.
And to add on that, we didn't have very good weather either.
No, remember it was rain,
Yeah,
right?
so that's just another skew to the data a little bit, because not a lot of people were out traveling around if it was raining.
And we can compare multiple years, but I think the kinds of considerations that you all are making really speak to our team's focus on broader community development. That this software is available, through this grant as a public resource for the good of the whole community versus being, just for one business to win. We're really looking to share information to help the community as a whole. So if connecting with the city, like any of those things are absolutely an option for us.
Good idea.
Thank you.
Great.
Thank you.
Good presentation.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Technology. So if I turn my Wi-Fi off on my phone, will you find me there or not? You won't, will you? You will? Is geo-fenced?
Find us.
I know what place we're at. Yeah, anyway, okay, thank you.
To answer your question, the data comes from over 500 different sources in apps and things where users have allowed location tracking permissions.
Yeah.
So that's where the data is sourced from.
And it's,
So not just one Wi-Fi source.
my last kind of question is like, it's just the Expo building, like if they were over in, doing barrel racing or something, or, just to the north there, they wouldn't connect it? And you're not gathering stuff that people that are going to like the high school right across the road, it's just that building. How tight is the parameter?
So in this case, I ran it for just the building. So I could run it for the county fairgrounds as a whole, but schools and places of worship and other kinds of facilities are actually blocked from the data source. So I could not run it on the high school.
Because it's really an energy efficiency project is what this was, but it can be used for community.
Yes.
Thank you.
Yes. Thanks.
Interesting.
Thanks.
All right, next up, we have agenda item 4, I believe. Is that right? Are we on 4? You guys on 4?
Yeah, we're back on.
Okay. Number 4.
Yeah, it's cool how they can track you though.
Yeah.
I mean, you see my Google timeline, I look at it, it's like everywhere I've ever been in the last 15 years. It's all on there. It's nuts.
Denise, you want to bring up my lovely
Yeah.
whopping
Tracking.
policy?
All right,
All right.
floor is yours.
We are bringing forward a draft policy for review in response to recent legislative changes and the implementation of Minnesota paid family and medical leave. To ensure compliance with the new state requirements, a new policy is necessary. This draft has been shared with the commissioners for their initial review. The policy, along with the employee leave request form, will also be submitted to our employment attorney for legal review prior to presenting on the December 30th board meeting. The counties that participate in AMC HR Technical Assistance Program were provided with a foundational Minnesota paid leave policy, including guidance and considerations for drafting. In developing this policy, we followed the template and outline provided by AMC. So we are here if there's any feedback, questions. It's a lot.
Yeah, it's how many,
7 pages.
7 pages in length.
7 pages.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
We don't have it on the iPads, do we?
I emailed it to you guys, to all the commissioners
Oh,
yesterday.
Okay.
Yep. And like I said, it will be going to our employment lawyer for review to make sure we're in compliance with everything and.
I would need to really go through this myself.
Has Susan?
Not yet. It will be going to her before coming to board.
Coming to board. You almost have to rely on.
Yeah, those that are doing it more than we're doing.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is brought up down at AMC too. There's counties working on this crap too.
Yeah.
And I'm sure as soon as we all get our policies drafted and posted and finalized, then the state will change something.
By the first of the year.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's actually referred to with a different name now, that's already changed, right, Nellie? It's
Yeah,
called
it's now called MNPL is the short Minnesota paid leave.
Minnesota Paid Leave.
It was Minnesota, or
FML, it was
no, PFML.
PFML, but
And then yeah.
So, Mr. Chair, I got a question. This was brought up down in the cities. So if I'm gonna have a baby in December of this year, as soon as January 1st rolls around, I can kick this program in, correct?
Correct.
Correct.
Yep, that's what we were all talking about, is like if it'll start in December really and go into effect in January.
Well, nope, it doesn't start in December. So in December, they would be eligible for FMLA.
But if they decide to take leave in the first of the year, okay, they had their baby in December and they take that for, then
Yeah, then
it's
it's starting
activated.
January.
It's activated then.
Right.
January 1, it would be activated. So any
maternity.
leave used in December would just be straight FMLA. And they could activate the paid family medical leave in January.
This is gonna bankrupt us.
Mr. Chair, if I may, I mean, it doesn't just limit us to December. This could be pregnant babies that are already born. I mean, this is, what is it, a year they get from the birth date? So I mean, technically it could have been February and they could take some time in January off if they had a baby last February. I mean, yeah, it's retroactive in that way. Pretty crazy.
Yep.
Sorry, I didn't mean to make that public, but it is. I mean, it's what it is.
Well, and the other thing you guys, you know, commissioners are gonna pay in, we're not gonna be able to
We
use it.
can't use it, no.
So we'll be paying into it and not using it.
Yeah.
So that's the other thing that got brought up.
Township officials as well.
Yeah, isn't that crazy?
Anyone who gets a W-2.
Yeah.
Yippee skippy.
Thank you, state of Minnesota. But for those that need it for family reasons, good. Use it the right way.
Okay.
Okay.
We'll have to read through it in more depth and have Susan get back to us, and thank you. Thank you.
Thanks, Nellie. Thanks, Jackie.
Agenda item 5 is 2026 board meeting schedule draft. Our county auditor, treasurer, and
She can. What the hell?
Oh, excuse me. This is our draft of the board schedule submission that we have for 2026, following your first and third Tuesdays of the month. The commissioner dates, meeting dates are listed in the first column. You will note down on the bottom, looking at November 2nd, we would make that change to November 3rd, only because, or we are making it November 2nd because the general election falls on Tuesday, the 3rd. So we've already made the change on this graft. So that's one change to the meeting dates. Looking at the submission board date deadline, and that's for departments to get their items into our office so that the agenda can be drafted. That's always due usually the Wednesday before the board meeting, but December 29th here is a Monday, the very first one due to the holiday. So that one we would move up, and we do notify and send emails out. And then if you look down to the March 31st, that one as well happens to be, we need it on a Tuesday, we need it even earlier because of Easter. And so that March 31st is earlier than the Wednesday. And then if you go down all the way to October 27th, that also is a Tuesday. November 10th is a Tuesday because of Veterans Day. Same thing with November 23rd, that is moved to a Monday because of Thanksgiving. And December 21st is moved to a Monday as well, as that's the Christmas holiday. So those Wednesday submissions, there's a couple changes there, and like I said, we notated it on this schedule, and we also do send emails out to the staff so they know to get the items into our office to the clerk file so that it's done on a timely manner, allowing our staff to get the agenda done and sent out and posted online. So that's what we have for submission dates and board deadline, commissioner meetings and board deadline submission dates. So we're just making you aware that at the first meeting, we will bring that forth as this unless you have any additional changes you would be making to this schedule. But that's how it is as follows. Our next item on the work session that we'll discuss is the board protocol revisions. We do have a resolution drafted here as listing all the items that is our board protocol. The only thing that we would be changing is down on, at the very end, it's adding number 20, and we don't have it on here. Oh, I don't have it brought up, I don't believe. Let's see. Nope, I don't have it brought up, my apologies. But we'll send it to you. What we're looking at and adding number 20 is, and I can read it to you, is public request for meeting notification. Any individual may provide a request to the clerk to receive notification of meeting pursuant to Minnesota Statute 13D.04. These requests will be fulfilled for and within the calendar year received. All requests will expire on December 31st annually. Not more than 60 days before the expiration date of a request for notice, the public body shall send notice of the refilling requirement to each person who filed during the preceding year. What this is we, in the past, have had individuals reach out to our office that were very active in attending board meetings, and they always wanted to get the board agenda personally sent to them via email. In looking that over, I told Jolene, there's some people on this list that we currently have that are no longer active in wanting to attend, and I think there's even maybe somebody on there that's deceased. And so we just need to clean that up, and we didn't have this as a board protocol in the past, and we're just looking to add number 20, and like I said, we can send it to you. My apologies, I don't have it up here. Jolene sent it to me and I didn't grab it to put it on here after the fact, but so that is one item we'll send out to you so you can read it before enacting on this board protocol items the first of the year. So that's just kind of basically a cleanup, and we're following statute that anybody that's asking to receive the agenda, we are complying with. But we wanted to add the guidelines of having them request and do it annually. Any questions on that one? And like I said, we'll send it to you so you can review it. Our next,
Oh, so Denise, on the consent agenda items, can you go up to that? One of the questions we had, and Lauren is here in attendance, was to talk about, one of the suggestions was final payment on contracts and the possibility that that could be a consent agenda item. That came up during a department head meeting, and wondering about whether we could add that under consent agenda items instead of in a regular
sorry, I'm just
action.
getting there.
And Lauren, I don't know if you want to come up and make a case for that. You probably say it more eloquently than me, but, yeah.
Thank you. We just was looking at it as far as to expedite the process for both us and the county board. Non-controversial items that are pretty systematic. We do it every year. Things that could just bring up consent agenda, you could add it there and get it passed where we wouldn't have to basically use up all that time and effort. Also included in that was other discussions with other department heads. I can't remember specifically which ones, but they had a lot of great ideas that as department heads, we felt that would basically speed the process up as long as it's not a controversial issue. So
That was an item I was bringing up, and Jackie jumped in on me.
Sorry.
That's
Okay, sorry.
No, you're fine. At the November 12th board department head meeting, the consent agenda items were added to our agenda. Such thing as final payments. It was asked about abatements, some large purchases, and the HHS reoccurring contracts. And I believe planning and zoning mentioned approving the final plat. The sheriff's office asked about grant approval. And just to go over those that were mentioned at department head and asked me to review and get items back, I did do some research on final payments, looking at other counties. Morrison County does do it. Stearns County does do it as well. Douglas County does not. They have a different format than us. And then Wadena County when I pulled their meeting up, they did not have it on this meeting, but maybe they do it. Just looking at their agendas online, they don't do it. So it's just kind of a mix of some do it, some don't. My opinion on this is final board approval is for the board to ask their questions if there's some issues. Now, I get that Lauren is saying, well, it's just standard stuff, but I'm just trying to be transparent. We try to get his on right away, so it's not wasting his time. But again, that's items that department heads should be presenting to the board. The other items was abatements. Now, in researching that, if you research it, it does say that that has to be brought to the county board. It can't just be, it has to be presented by the assessor, it has to be explained. Taxpayers have to be treated fairly and equally. So that one should not be when I did the research on the Minnesota statutes. As far as Lisa's servers, that's a really huge expense, and that also should be reviewed with the county. I get it's like a contract, and I understand that they could bring it to work session, but after that work session, when it's presented, that's your time as a board to ask the department heads questions on this. And I just feel like when you're putting this stuff on potential consent items, I'm just reading them, and you guys are just voting on them. And then also the final plats, and also the sheriff's department getting grants. I feel that's an opportunity for the sheriff or any department to come forward and acknowledge that recognition that they're getting it. If it's just a consent item, again, we're just reading it. Sometimes we have to look at the good too. So by the sheriff presenting it, or any department head coming forth with a grant item that, hey, we're receiving money, we're doing a good job, people are looking out for us. That's some acknowledgement we should acknowledge in our staff and for the public to know. That's always not the negative stuff. There's good stuff happening at the county as well. That's just my opinion. I'm the clerk to this board protocol. I'm the one presenting it. And so I just wanted you to know that I did look at some research of these. But getting back to Lauren's concern, that's your decision as a board, because other counties, it's kind of mixed. A mixed bag of nuts. Some do it, some don't. And when I was down at AUC too, I was asking my co-workers that are in this division that do county boards the same thing, and I got the same answer there. It's just the board chooses to or not to do it that way. So that's the research I did. That's the answers I had from the November 12th request, I should say, at the department head.
If I could, Mr. Chair, I guess this is the first time hearing about it because we don't get minutes from the, when you have the
Department head.
department head meetings. Only the chair and vice chair go to department head meetings, the rest of us do not. So our chances of visiting with department heads are not the same as chair and vice chair. I know Lauren and I had quite a lengthy discussion yesterday about your final bill that was brought up today. So I would like to continue to see it brought up to the full board. I think it's important that we see our department heads and they explain what's going on and what's happening. My opinion.
Thank you.
Mr. Chair, you know, it's all about transparency, okay? We're for the taxpayers of Todd County. You know, department heads can request to put this stuff on consent items. We could go that route, but then I have Friday and Monday to do any research. And if I'm doing any research and whatever department head puts that on the consent item is gone, either one of Friday or Monday, that puts me in a box, okay? So then I don't have the information. So I think just leave it the way it is and move on.
Any comments?
Yeah, just Commissioner Becker, just for clarification, we weren't withholding information from that meeting. We were just letting Denise do her research before we wanted her to present to
No,
the
but
full board. But I get what you're saying.
Yeah,
but-
because we never get any minutes from your department head meetings, so.
Yep, this was just one
You
we weren't gonna say nothing until Denise could bring it forward and give all of us at the same time, so nothing was being
And Commissioner Becker, I don't clerk the department head meeting, so I wouldn't be taking any minutes to send you.
Did we have
Did you
minutes
in the-
before from the department
yeah.
head meetings?
What,
We
minutes?
have agenda.
Yeah, but we don't even see the agenda.
No.
From the beginning, I guess.
We've never,
No.
I've never got any minutes from meetings.
Department head.
Did you in the past, do you know?
No.
I don't know.
Before
I couldn't tell you
started?
because I was chair and vice chair for so many years.
I'm just wondering if it was before I
too.
started. Okay,
But you
I'll
know
do
you miss
research
it when
on
you're
that.
there.
Right. Usually if there's something that's,
Research that.
usually if there's something that we feel like it's you know, a must discuss, we give a call.
Yep.
You know,
Do you get,
Kim and I are
do
usually-
you get minutes from other,
we
never
get
got-
from personnel.
For personnel, you do.
I'd have to look back up.
okay.
Yeah.
I'll research that. I'm gonna check into that.
But this is stuff you can consider before we enact on it.
I mean, you know, a couple of there's a lot of different items, and there's final payment, there's grant acceptance, there's all these different things, and you know, people's time and salaries and the time they spend in this room versus doing their actual jobs is a consideration also. Not, I mean, I like a grant application. I'm a big fan of the positive side of that, making sure people understand the positive side of that. You know, sometimes we have people sitting in this audience for half an hour, tell us we got a grant application, and I don't think we're gonna say no to it. Who tells that story and how it's told is whatever.
But
You
at
know.
the same token, are they sitting here or are they sitting in their office watching us?
I don't know. Hope they're doing their job, whatever their job is.
Good point. Watch the Meeker County Board, they're on TV on RVIC. If you guys get a chance, just watch their whole board meeting.
That's a very good point, Commissioner Becker. There is a lot of people that take Tuesday and watch the board meeting, because I, in fact, after you made that comment when you were chair, I went back to my staff and said, you're not gonna sit and watch the board meeting on Tuesday. If you have an item that pertains to the board, you can go on at that moment. But I don't know, Lisa from MIS would have to give you that count of, because they can watch and monitor that. But I do know there's a lot of watching that, so county time is being used there as well.
Yeah. I know there's definitely an efficiency side of this government thing that's somewhat wasteful in my mind, and there's also you know, the transparency side, which I agree with 100%. I know everybody needs to know what's going on, and that actually begs something about, like, at least I've learned in this, for whoever's going to do this again next year or whatever year those before me, is like when we worked really hard. This leadership team worked really hard on getting things done for people. To, you know, because there's times when we have years before things get done. It's just unbelievable in my mind. So many times we've made amendments to these agendas, and then we come to them, and sometimes it feels like we're rushed, and it really wasn't well thought out. But in the sake of trying to be efficient for our department heads and all of our staff, we've done it. And you know, there's a transparency side that I would tell people next year or whenever, whoever, you know, it's not on the agenda, so people have had a chance to think about it, look at it. So you got to balance being productive and efficient with also being transparent. So
I would agree with that, Commissioner Byers. We had a lot of issues this last year where amendments were brought in, and this is the first year I've had that many. And there's different, you just stated them, transparency. There's us getting it on the agenda for out in the public. That doesn't give the taxpayers time to review it, that they may come in and agree or disagree with what we're acting on when you add something. So we try to shy away from any amendments that we can. I understand there's emergency situations, but then again, too, there are some that are just being hashed out and are added quickly, and that doesn't give you as a board a fair time to review
Yeah, I mean, there's just,
for that comment.
and you know, this is, I'm the shortest timer on here, but there's lots of times when things come to the board, and I mean, you need to do your due diligence. I mean, we will voted on a $4 million warrant. You know, if you called down to different departments and said, how many times has someone called down to ask about that, you know? Anyway. Okay, I'm good.
Okay, thank you.
Where are we at now?
Thanks, Lauren.
We are on the
Let's track.
commissioner assignments, and I believe Jolene is gonna hand out the big list for you guys
The
to
big
look at.
list.
The big
List
list.
that never stops growing.
I know. And if I can try to even get it on here. It's gonna be tiny.
So is the goal to look through this and come back next time with a, are we gonna go through it and
And I
hammer it out
want you
now?
guys to review this. If you're making changes to what committees you want to sit on, maybe some committee doesn't agree with your timeline of work schedules or whatever it may be, I want you as a board to work together to find out if you're keeping them the same. And what will happen is I will actually go through these on the first meeting, which I know is very tedious, but I have to read each committee list item, and then I have to assign who is the chair of that, or who's attending and who's the alternate. So just so you're aware that when we come to that first meeting, we're gonna be going through all of these. We have tried to add the meeting timetable. That was a request several years ago. Sometimes they're just as needed, sometimes we don't know when they are, so like I said, we tried to gather that as easily as we could, but these are just items that you need to review as a board of who's gonna sit on them.
If I may, Mr. Chair, the only edits that have been done to this list from the 2025 adopted version is frankly changing the date on the top. And then putting to be determined on who the board chair and vice chair will be. Any of the assumed per se roles of chair and vice chair on certain committees, I have not made any movement on any of that either. Waiting for your directions.
At this time, and I don't know if it's appropriate or not, but I'm going to put it out here right now. I am missing someone to sit on the park board. I had someone and they resigned from the park board. It's also been a year since I've had a representative on the economic development board. And I was told that at the
TCDC,
now-
yeah, yours is still open. Yeah,
And I
you're
was
just-
told that they're going to replace the person, and I do not, at the last meeting that we had, their annual meeting. And so I'm questioning what's happening with that.
It's a vacant seat right now for your
Yeah, are they
district.
looking for someone to replace my position, that position on the board?
What do
I
you
was
mean?
told they
For
replaced it.
TCDC?
Yes. I
Well-
don't find someone, they find someone for my
Well,
district.
you can recommend someone to them if you have someone interested, I believe.
I haven't even asked anybody because I was told at that point
No,
that
I
it
don't
was
think,
up to
I don't
them
think they
to-
have any plans for anyone just yet. I think they're looking.
I guess I would appreciate if they would.
Well, nobody's there. There's nobody to talk to you about because there's no candidates. So
Are they're not even looking for someone?
I think it's just an open seat. If someone wants it, they'll give it to them. I don't know if they're recruiting at the moment, but I think there was more important things going on recently here that needed to be addressed prior to filling that seat.
I think that you're talking TCDC now, right?
Yes.
Yes.
I think that has been, I think it's getting, the running of it is getting tightened up.
Okay.
Okay, like that. Board protocol, different things. And that'll be one of Leah's, marching orders, is to make sure that whatever the case may be. So you're telling us that someone at some point last year said, we're going to find somebody for you.
That's correct.
But we're saying nobody's done that, or because whatever, so.
And I'm just bringing it up, wondering what's happening.
I would say exactly what everybody said.
Okay.
You think someone's looking for you and nobody's looking for you,
Yes.
so.
Can I ask, do you want them looking for you, or, I mean,
I was, because before I had found a person, and
Okay.
they said, no, it was them who find the person.
Oh, okay, I see where the confusion, okay.
Well, how long ago was this? Because I've been
A
on that
year
one for
ago.
3 years, and I don't recall us having a person as a candidate ever presented to them.
I
I've
asked
been
a
at
year ago.
almost every
Lou.
meeting.
Well, then, obviously,
Yeah, there's some
there's
miscommunications.
a spark plugs aren't firing, so we can, do you want, or you want to recommend? Because let's just, we can,
Either
we'll give
way-
them direction.
Either way, we should have someone from my district on there.
Okay, yeah.
Okay, that's just my point.
How about, you said Parks Board?
Yes, and that's usually I find someone,
Yeah,
but I have a very hard time with my district, someone
Yeah.
willing to
But
stay
she's on
on that
extension
board.
now, right?
Yes, she is.
That's probably a good board for.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sorry, guys.
No, this is your time to ask, so that's why we're going through this during a work session.
Well, there's no reason to have a committee if we're not gonna have representation from the different districts, to be honest with you. I mean, might as well plant it in the ground then, so. Let's, on TCDC, we will communicate to them that you think that they're looking and they think you're looking, and we'll have,
Nobody's looking.
we'll have their chair and they'd say, you go find it or we'll go find it, okay?
Yes,
Sounds good.
Clarity, yep, okay.
yes.
Clarity, clear as mud.
Word
Yep.
of the day.
I'm reaching out to Leah right now to let her know.
Okay.
Okay,
Well, she knows it's open. Just
okay.
not the fact that who's looking.
She's worried probably about a paycheck right now.
We're worried about pay pretty heavily right now.
I mean, me personally, I am enjoying the committees I'm on. I know as far as, if you're looking for what you're doing and everything, I mean, yeah, they're all different and, but they fit my schedule and my, so I'm really not looking for any movement personally, if that's part of this discussion.
Yes, it is.
No, then I'm happy with what I'm doing.
Same.
Yeah, just because in past years, people have kind of had it for
Sure.
a year and they're like, I'm not really into this, it doesn't pertain to my expertise, so people have flip-flopped.
The only thing I would say is like safety, so safety OSHA committee and facilities is all one big, well, Barbara and I were in facilities,
Yeah,
but eventually safety and OSHA might be, directed with some of our other plans and
Kind of
staff.
always fell under the chair and vice chair facilities.
So,
Well,
Mr.
Barb
Chair,
was on it.
But there is a safety committee too, right?
yes,
That Nellie is, that might
Yes.
eventually have some better or different direction.
it used to be a lot different than what it is today.
Yeah, well, with a plan with management, emergency management stuff, we're looking at that.
Could be moving that way.
Yeah.
so, Mr. Chair, I got a question. MCIT, is that on here?
Yeah, that's the
That's
other
usually the
one.
chair and the vice chair.
Well,
When
and,
I
and
send
that's
that
something
to
that
them.
we need to discuss because we got down there this last week and we couldn't vote because it's the chair and the vice chair. And,
That's all they allow. They send me a letter asking
and
every
that's
year.
it.
Yes.
So, when
So-
it comes to MCIT for their annual meeting,
MCIT. Or,
AMC.
no,
no.
MCIT.
We have an actual business
The
meeting.
Yeah.
year-end meeting in December down at the AMC conference,
Yeah, I can't even vote. I attended
No, we
that.
couldn't even go to it.
right, they just said, no, you can sit there and, so Todd County would not have a vote unless the chair and the vice chair are there.
That is correct.
All right.
Commissioner Newman.
Yep.
And I don't
And
have a reason.
it's only chair and vice chair they allow? No, not two representatives from
No,
the
well,
board?
see, what happens is they ask for that right after our first business meeting. And so then the chair and vice chair go on that listing for the year.
MR.
And when you attend or don't attend, they give you voting cards at AMC, and that is who is listed on there. I've tried listing all the commissioners in the
Can't you just
past years.
assign two other commissioners rather than chair and vice chair? If somebody's gonna attend every year and wants to attend every year, just put their name on the list?
Well, as youth commissioners can address
I mean,
that.
if that's what's gonna take to get us happy and get us a vote, I mean,
Yeah, it does
somebody wants
not
to commit
matter
to
to
being
me,
there
but
every single year, sure, give it to them.
They both have to be there, or just one of them?
Just
One.
one.
one has to. can
But you
vote.
only get one vote. If
Yeah.
you're one, if you're
We
two
only
votes, if
get
you're two.
one.
No, you get one vote.
You get one
The
vote,
chair
no,
can't make
not-
it, the vice chair can vote.
yeah.
But it only counts as one vote.
That should be listed.
Right.
That should be
Yes.
listed on
The
there.
voting card they give you before the meeting is one vote. And then you also have things that you need to attend that you vote on, where you get a voting card. Because
Yep.
we sat in other.
That's general government.
General government, one, yes.
That's our,
Figuring out what your priorities are gonna
Right.
be for the lobbying of the session,
Yep.
yes.
I got another, the first one, that 3-county Morrison, Todd, Wadena Board of Health, that's our CHB. And I think myself and
I'm on that.
Lou are on that, but I see all the commissioners are listed.
Yes, because if you go over to, well, it just ended up being that people couldn't attend, somebody else could attend.
Usually at the annual meetings, they allow everybody to attend for
Right.
MTW
We have
CHB.
one meeting in Wadena that all the commissioners are invited to,
Invited to,
but
yeah.
usually it's Lou and I that
That's why
attend
we
that.
listed it that way.
Yeah. Minnesota Rural County Caucuses is the other one. And we're all listed, so we've been able to attend the last, 3-4 meetings, Randy? Been able to sit and been able to vote, so that's a positive.
Can we make this, can we say, like, here's the deal on MCIT. So, unbeknownst to me that vice chair and chair are the, whether it's on me or whoever, or whatever, I mean, I didn't really realize that, one of us had to be there, and obviously this year I didn't go because of some things I was dealing with, so, I mean, and,
Right.
do you wanna
but
leave
so
it as vice
everybody's
chair,
aware
chair?
of that, what's going on, Bob.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, well, you wanna leave it as vice chair and chair? With the
Well-
hope that one of them can,
What's MCIT's rules?
We can have anybody as our MCIT representative, I would
You
think.
just have to pick who your delegates are, and then I have to notify them to who the delegates are.
Okay.
And we always pick that because it's part of this committee listing at the first of the year. This is the problem, and then
Alright.
once MCIT has that locked in,
Because I didn't
that's
see
your
it down
voting
on here.
delegates.
Let's add it on to here.
Yep.
Let's
Okay.
add it on to our list.
Policy committee.
Has to be a separate
Excuse me.
responsibility.
If you go down to policy, I'm listed and Randy are listed, and we meet the first Wednesday at 9 o'clock. We haven't been doing that. So what's happening with the policy committee?
We haven't met in a while.
Yeah, we haven't met, just due to timing and our staffing and administration, but that still needs to continue because we have a
Okay.
number of policies we do need to address.
Okay.
So we would want to continue that.
Right, we just have canceled those due to the fact of our administration office working on Paycom and the paid leave. They had a lot of stuff they were working on, so every month we'd look at it and see what their timing would be, and then we would just cancel it. So there's been a couple of them canceled, but we typically still hold those.
Okay.
So again, these are for your review.
Yep.
If something would want to change you to.
The other thing, as I look down, is the Airport Commission in Staples. I've been on the board here for 14 years. I've never gone to a meeting.
Well, that's something you're gonna have to reach out to them because we don't have any control of it. I have
Do they have
no
any, do
idea.
they have any controversial issues ever? Like, obviously you never know because there's never been a meeting.
No,
so
I have never.
I just don't.
Just that one where we put somebody who had some agriculture right next to it. That's the only one that could have been addressed
Oh,
there.
sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know, I don't understand.
I mean,
The
they did all
zoning change,
the.
I think.
What the hell?
That was in Ball Prairie.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
was
for
Long
the Staples
Prairie.
one.
Oh, the Staples one never
This is
meets.
Staples, yeah.
Could
City of
you,
Staples?
could
Oh,
you
wow.
reach out to the City of Staples administration and find out?
See if we're
We'll
just not getting
keep it as
invited?
is if they want us.
Yeah, I
Oh,
just,
okay.
Or are we just not getting invited?
I don't know if they have a whole lot of.
We do have a time change we could edit. The TCDC Development Corp liaison for Bob and I, it's now the second Monday of the month in Browerville Community Center at 3 p.m.
Oh, okay, so 3, not 7.
good catch.
Yep, that's at 3 p.m. now, not 7, so.
Okay, yeah, and if anybody has any of these updates, thank you,
Yeah.
Commissioner Noska, because we don't attend them, so we don't know when they are. Yep.
Right.
Perfect, thank you.
Denise, where's policy on here again? Sorry.
No, policy is right
Yeah,
in
but
Mr.
Jet.
Chief.
Oh, in the back.
Catch you
Okay.
later.
Well, it's right here.
Up here,
Right
okay.
here.
Isn't
Hey
that
guys,
chair,
Liz,
vice chair?
Tim's gotta get to St. Cloud with the
Yeah,
Cree
we're
River.
done with, I mean, this will come up before the other meeting.
Oh, okay.
Home quick.
Oh, okay.
Vice chair, no.
Okay.
First.
You're gonna be humping it.
I'll be cutting her short.
Okay.
Good luck.
So, Mr. Chair, before Tim leaves, Jackie is now gonna be on the radio, what, every 2 weeks?
Yeah,
like that
it's
for
usually
now?
the Friday after the board meeting.
Okay,
So this Friday again, just to give an
So-
update.
if you're looking for a park board member or anything, get a hold of Jackie. She can put on the radio and say, hey, is anybody interested out there?
Need.
It's a good spot to plug that, yeah.
That would be.
Brief description, what, it's tough when people say park board member, don't know what that means. If you have a brief description of what the.
And
what they
it's for
do.
we'll get
District
it for you.
1,
Yep.
which would be my district.
What their
up there.
duties are and their meeting dates.
Yes.
That might conflict with somebody's.
Just
And the
just
per diems.
show- Just people have an idea what the involvement is gonna be, or could be.
Right.
Yeah, put the per diem on.
Yeah, make sure you put the per diem on there so they know it's a paid
No.
position.
Yeah.
So, yeah,
Okay.
Barb, you've got two then. You're looking for two different members for boards. Okay.
And the one for economic development has been gone for, well, Melissa was the last one that I had.
Yeah, she was, so it's a couple of years now.
Yeah.
Or, well, year and a half, whatever it's
Yeah.
been since she was done.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, so I think we'll make those notations and
Yeah.
forth at the first meeting to go through, just for you to approve it. Okay, that's all I have. Unless you have any questions for me.
See everybody up at the transfer station?
Yep.
If you're
I
going,
won't be there.
okay, won't see you at the transfer station?
You won't see me. I was thinking about going and grabbing lunch quick, but I thought that
Okay,
was.
so we're done. I can stop the meeting.
Can you, give her a big